And welcome back to Healthcare Sucks. And tonight, not to run off from my audience or my fellow patrons of wanting to know the truth about what's going on. Touch the nose again. Rule number one: nose, eyes, mouth. Don't no touchy. No touchy. I figure if we do it enough, maybe one of us will learn, me or you. I don't know about me. Tonight, 7 minutes ago, there was a diagnosis in San Diego. And it turns out there's actually 3 or 4 people there that have come and go. We're going to listen to that. And then we're going to go on to WHO, more WHO BS with, there's actually up to 24 days now. They're talking that people could transfer the disease now and be carriers. Not 14, guys, 24 now. So you and I, as smart people, we knew and been watching and reading between the lines that they've been hiding. Also, WHO gets questioned about China's, hiding the truth. And there's been some news. I don't know if I'll have it on this one. I'll try to get it on another one. But you can research it, guys. There's actually knowledge that they knew about this in November. Yeah, think about that. November. So there is a lot of this not getting reported, guys, all over there and in other places. Plus, people getting ill or misdiagnosed. Another thing, the test kits and testing, you're going to hear in this, people passing and being let go. They're negative, then they're getting it. And a lot more people are getting it that have never even been to China now. So it's revving up. I'm not trying to fear porn, you guys. I'm just bringing you the truth. If my eye's a little bad tonight, so if you see it and it looks funky, I was helping my neighbor and I got splashed with some mud. And long story anyway, helping the neighbor do something in time of need. Um, uh, so there's so many things going right now. And then the WHO, after knowing about this 24-day thing, says, oh no, we're not going to change the quarantine from 14 to 24. What? So it's possible it can be transferred 24 days, but you're not incubating people for the 24. You're only going to do it for 14? Now, what am I missing here, guys? Is there something stupid with that? This whole thing's been stupid. With that, real quick, too, I want you guys to think about a couple things. I keep dwelling on this. No military, no pictures of any military personnel sick at all. Period. The emperor and all his family, no pictures from them. They're not sick. The current president over there, Ching or Lee, or excuse me, I'm not going to say his name right, but we know who we're talking about. He's running around like he's all good. With them tinkering with this when they got it over there from the Canada source, which by the way, they're trying to bury that story and say, oh, that's not true. That never happened. It's all hypocrisy and misleading and false information. It's not, guys. I did a video on it. You can go research yourself. There's a lot of proof that that's what happened. Then they played with it and the monkey got out. And supposedly in bat form. I did a video on the bats too, which would be interesting. You should check that out. So there's a lot of things going on. Bottom line, still protect you, your family. Wash. Keep an eye on this. Again, don't take my word for it. I mean, go out and check it out yourselves and see whether you believe the WHO pahooey or you really just want to know and be prepared, guys. I hope this doesn't go astray, but the numbers and the information is that we're in it for a long run. I'm also putting it together a semi-documentary, and we're going to call it, when it comes out, a work of fiction because of things getting shut down and people getting cut. But I've come up with some thoughts as to where this came from, why this is out there right now, and why we're not hearing or seeing their military in any pictures right now. I believe there's something afoot. And I trust our government to be out there and watching and protecting us. And I hope I'm not wrong. But there's so many things going on, guys, that are happening, and we were all led astray towards this. The left and the right, and the hypocrisy over the impeachment, this and then that, and then this and then that. When reality is, there's a lot of things going on. They're serious fighting. We got in a fight with Russia over there with some of our troops. That's not on the air. I mean, Stephen Nunes from Israel News came out the other day and said that Iran, actually, a scientist came out, and they have the information. They're going to post it this week. That China actually gave them, with this scientist working on it, that they're in possession of 4 nukes. So there's a lot of things going on, guys, besides, this trying to keep us vision and watching this other stuff, just like the WHO trying to say, pat it down, pat it down. Well, enough of the patting it down. We need to all just start going and seeing what it is. And I'm not out to start no panics, no fear porn things. I love you guys. You're my brothers and sisters. I just hope that we all make it through this. And I want us to be prepared in case it gets bad. So with that, we'll jump into the story if you put up with my BS for a few minutes. And I love you all. Here we go.
Tonight, we're learning more about the first confirmed case of coronavirus here in San Diego. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Barbara Lee Edwards. This patient was one of several people who had evacuated from China and had been flown to MCAS Miramar. They were then placed in isolation at UC San Diego Health. Well, tonight, News 8 has learned that the patient was released from the hospital and returned to MCAS Miramar before the virus was confirmed.
News 8's Richard Allen is live in Hillcrest with an update on that patient's condition. Richard.
And Carlo and Barbara Lee, after that initial mix-up, that patient who ultimately tested positive for coronavirus was returned here to UC San Diego Health today. Also, another evacuee who arrived at MCA's Miramar last week was also brought here to UC San Diego Health for further evaluation. And tonight, health officials here say both patients are doing well and have minimal symptoms. In a statement issued by UC San Diego Health, all 4 patients with possible symptoms who were being evaluated for the coronavirus and who had been in isolation at the hospital in Hillcrest had, according to CDC, initially tested negative, and at CDC's direction were discharged from UC San Diego Health on Sunday and returned to their federal quarantine at MCAS Miramar. However, Monday morning, CDC informed local health officials that one of those 4 patients who had been released one day earlier actually tested positive for coronavirus through further testing. That patient has now been returned once again to UC San Diego Health, placed in isolation and under observation until cleared for release by the CDC.
We're trained to always prepare for the worst.
In the meantime, Sharp Grossmont Hospital in La Mesa provided a look into how patients potentially quarantined with a disease like coronavirus would be cared for, isolated in what's known as a negative pressure room, with a special ventilation system functioning like a vacuum, ensuring the air and the patient's germs remain contained in that room,
keeping them safe and isolated from the rest of the hospital.
Healthcare workers coming in contact with possible coronavirus patients would be outfitted with this special hooded uniform that functions as its own mini ventilation system that ensures the air they breathe is constantly clean.
Because we want to keep everybody safe. That's the most important thing.
And as news of this latest case is confirmed here at home, the death toll to coronavirus in China continues to mount. In fact, the death toll, for the first time, the daily death toll in a 24-hour period surpassed 100, bringing the total death toll overall to more than 1,000. The majority of those deaths are in Wuhan, China, the epicenter of this virus. Barbara Lee?
We're here in South Korea, and that is the coronavirus outbreak. The World Health Organization has expressed concerns about the latest coronavirus cases confirmed in Europe that were transmitted without any travel history to China, the very epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak. Eason J reports.
Earlier this week, 5 British citizens were confirmed to have contracted the novel coronavirus after visiting a French alpine town from another British national who was confirmed to have the virus after returning from a conference in Singapore. None of the patients had any history of traveling to China, yet they still fell ill. According to the head of the World Health Organization, new cases like these could signal the start of a wider spread of the coronavirus.
And see, folks, I back my stuff. So do many other YouTubers. The great Marfugelman, yes, he does too. That's why he's having so many issues over there. Dutch Sense, the master earthquake detective, he backs his and he's getting hassled. BP got taken out once and still came back. He's like a Energizer bunny. Takes a lick at it, keeps on digging. That's for you, BP. That's right, brother. Anyway, let's listen to this. This is what's going on. Listen to WHO's BS.
In recent days, we have seen some concerning instances of onward transmission from people with no travel history to China, like the cases reported in France yesterday and the United Kingdom today. The detection of this small number of cases could be the spark that becomes a bigger fire. But for now, it's only a spark. Our objective remains containment.
His comments come as an advanced WHO team of medical experts arrived in China on Monday to investigate the outbreak. The WHO chief says the team will work with their Chinese counterparts to contain the spread of the virus. Last month, the head of the WHO visited Beijing for talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping and agreed to send an international mission to help curb the outbreak. However, it took the Chinese government nearly 2 weeks to approve the team's trip. Meanwhile, a new study has revealed the incubation period of the novel coronavirus could be as long as 24 days.
24 days. 24 days. 24 days. 24 days. Yes, 24 days. The reason I'm saying that so much is because I do want it to stick in our heads. 24 days. And then you're going to have these bozos. They're not going to change it like I told you. They still want to stay at 14. If that makes logic to you in any way, you send me a comment and let me know. Or you send me your Troy's 2 cents worth and let me know how you guys feel about it. It can be your 2 cents worth. Because you know what? My 2 cents and your 2 cents add up to 4 cents. And that's a lot of common sense. Because I and you have common sense. That's a major plus nowadays because a lot of people are ignorant.
While initial studies revealed a 14-day incubation period, data collected on over 1,000 patients showed the average incubation period was 3 days and could range from 0 to 24 days. Despite the latest findings, the WHO says it's not considering changing the recommended quarantine time of 2 weeks. 이승재, 아리랑 News.
And that's exactly what I told you guys, and I backed it. Now, that don't make no sense. It just don't. I'm going to cut this one and make another one. I'm going to try to stick to some shorter ones. That way you guys don't get burned out. And with that, healthcare sucks, my friends, and salute the military that's busting their ass to keep us safe tonight. Shout out to them. And a big shout out to all YouTubers and viewers who are trying to get the knowledge out and just trying to protect ourselves. And with that, I love you. Big heart. Big heart, man. Love you guys. Stay safe. And healthcare soon. Luke's over and out.